Hey, welcome back to Perseverance Pastures. I want to show you our farm right now. I don't know if I'm going to post my last vlog because it was, I think, a little chaotic in regards of like, I wasn't thinking about shooting a vlog. I was thinking about hauling 4 sheep in the back of our Rogue and then bringing sheep onto our pasture. Then thinking about how they just took my dream in a matter of 2 minutes and blew it up. And then I was thinking about how, oh no, I might be giving my sheep bloat and then killing them. So we are officially 24 hours in. No, yes, my days are weird right now. 48 hours in. Sheep are still alive. They're happy and healthy. And I am learning how to be the shepherdess of a Tunis Flock. I'm going to talk to you today about my plan. We got 2 ewes, a wether, and a ram. The original plan was we get them home, I separate the male from females. I run 2 flocks through our pasture that we've recently completed our permanent fencing in, rotationally graze them, and build out our flock. I set the paddocks up via netting as the hard perimeter, and then I did the Gallagher 3-wire smart fence up the middle, and then to cut it off I added 2 lines, and they blew right through those 2 lines that created the smaller paddocks within like 2 minutes of putting them on the pasture. And I was like, oh no, oh dear, which I knew my goal was lofty because I knew sheep do not respect electric fences unless they're hot, and mine were not. They were like at 3,000 volts just because it wasn't a good connection. I wasn't quite set up right. It didn't work, as well as like it's fine. So I just left them, and I was like, we'll just open up the, like, I'm going to say like the big paddock was what weeks worth of grazing, and I was splitting it into 2 smaller ones would be like 48 hours. I was like, whatever, they can just stay on here for like 3 days, then I'll move them to a completely new paddock and work something out. But I was like watching them, you know, the boys on their side, girls on the other, and I was like, I'm missing something. I am forgetting something. And of course, what I was forgetting was the fact that they have been on a hay and creep fed basis, so like grain. I'm still learning, but that's what they were on, which is fine. And I knew when I brought them to our property that I needed to have like slowly introduce them, because with any animal, when you change their diet drastically, you should, you know, kind of wean them off their old one and introduce the new one. So anyways, we go in for the night. We actually had friends coming over that night, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. And the breeder who I got them from, she's been fantastic to work with. I like let her know, I'm like, hey, I'm putting them on green pasture. Is there anything I'm forgetting? And she'd emailed back and she's like, ooh, I would take them off and slowly introduce them to the green pasture, like an hour a day, and build up until you see that, you know, they're doing what ruminants do, which is eat, lay down, relax, regurgitate, chew on the cud, which then you know they're ruminant. And that, when I read that email, like everything, like my face went white, because I was like, oh my God, I forgot. I've been so worried about parasites and reading up on barber poleworm and thinking about hoof rot and all these other things that I didn't truly think about. Okay, first 48 hours, what should that look like? I was a nervous wreck Friday night. But I just accepted, like, you know what? They're on the pasture. It's dark. We're just gonna leave it. It'll be fine. Like, if I go out in the morning and I have to treat for bloat, I can do it. I've already bought, like, I'll take you through in another video, like, what I bought in preparation for sheep. But Saturday morning, woke up. I came to our commercial garden, which over there we got a bunch planted already. I created this paddock. The chickens have actually been on this. And the grass is pretty low. Like, there's obviously some grass, but not enough to like give them bloat. At least that's what I think. I put the sheep straw because that's another thing. Like, the sheep run a big enough paddock. They'd never seen a sheep shaw. They didn't know it was cover. All they knew was like they were taken from their old like system in their comfort zone and put in a new one, and a crazy lady's like, you know, talking to them. So Saturday morning, I looked at, we had like essentially 3 options, and this is the one I chose. I made a little paddock. We made an alleyway from down there all the way up here, and I walked them in. Well, I kind of like herded them in. I definitely have this romanticized idea that they're gonna follow me. When I start moving them, they're just gonna follow. I am no one to them right now, but eventually that's my plan. And then in here, I had already put some straw down. We put their mineral up, and in their mineral, I don't know why I didn't, but I didn't put all 4 out. I put 2 out, which was sodium bicarbonate, which is baking soda. I did buy animal grade. I don't know if it really matters. And then I did Redmond's sheep mineral, and so that's what I did. Side note, going back, on Friday night, I came out and checked on them like 4 times between like, I don't know, 5 o'clock and 11 p.m. And the boys, they actually did like eat and then lay down, very calm. I could see them chewing their cud, and I'm like, good, like they're processing. The girls, they were like kids in a candy shop, just chomp, 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 all the grass. And all I could think is all that gas is building up in you right now if you don't slow down. But so I got them in their paddock, and the cool thing was I already had brome hay, because I did buy hay because I knew they were going on green pasture, and I thought I could just give them supplemental hay and that they would know, oh, this is green grass, let me go eat essentially like my vegetables. Like, you know, if the grass is candy, the brome is vegetables. I thought they'd kind of like self-regulate. No, of course not. They're babies. They're gonna eat the candy. They're gonna eat the lush grass. But I had brome hay that I threw in here, and they went after it. And I'd already had the baking soda in there. Well, I'd been watching them for like an hour as we were like actually working in the garden. I'd keep an eye on them, and all of a sudden I saw one go and investigate the mineral feeder, and I was like, yes, you get that baking soda, you get it. And yeah, sure enough, it put its nose in, licked up a bunch, and within like 2 or 3 minutes, I heard a sheep fart. I was so happy. Anyone who's a farmer that's like concerned about their animals rumen, or, you know, or concerned about their animal, and they see their animal do the right thing and then have the good reaction of a fart. Yes, so happy. I was so relieved. So, and then once one did it, the others came over like, what you got there? At only one point did I feel like one of the girls, their left side is lunch, like food, which is good and okay, but once their right side starts getting big, unless they're pregnant, it's not good. There's one point that I saw one of the ladies right side kind of get big, and I was really concerned, but everyone's doing really well. I'm just rambling. I should just show you some sheep. So that's the system that we're gonna do now for at least the first week to 2 weeks. They have a paddock, which today, in about an hour, I'm gonna walk them back down to a green grass. It's pretty wet, which is not great, especially trying to, you know, get them onto grass. Why it's not great, I've read it and I understand it. I'm not at that point where I can explain it. But I'm gonna leave them on green grass for an hour and let them eat, be in the candy shop, eat the candy. And during that hour, I'm actually gonna move their paddock just because I am still concerned about parasites. I'm actually gonna move this paddock where they ate brome yesterday, pooped, peed. They've, you know, been there since Saturday morning, pooped, peed. I'm gonna put the paddock right here. They're gonna be here for 24 hours, or, you know, for one full night. Then I'll move them to that one, which the chickens were there just this morning. So luckily, I overbought my netting because I had this grand plan on rotational grazing, but I overbought netting. I was concerned, but no, I have the perfect amount of fencing right now. As well as, because there's only one fence on this Energizer, I'm getting about 8 or 9 on my voltometer or whatever, which is good. And they've been shocked a few times. They definitely respect it now, which is good. But yeah, so for the next probably 7 days, that's about what I have mapped out. I've learned that I'm just going to plan 48 hours out. If I try to plan, because I had a whole week planned for them and they ruined it within 3 minutes. So I'm gonna stay ahead of them by not planning as much. So yeah, we have at Perseverance Pasture, our first sheep flock. Also a shout out to my stepfather, who I called Saturday morning. Oh, I was a mess. And I was like, I'm trying to run 2 flocks, but it's double the work. And I was like, I'm so scared. And, you know, like, they're going to get bloat. And if one dies, that's 25% of my flock. And he has cows, and he had sheep before, like, a long time ago. And he was like, he kind of reminded me, like, they're only 12 weeks old. The male is not going to impregnate the ewes. And if he does become sexually active before they're sexually mature, then nothing's going to happen. So I'm going to run the flock together. It's going to be heartbreaking when I have to pull them apart, but that's the choice that I've made. It'll be heartbreaking for them because they have a flock and I'm about to, you know, divide it in half. But for the next month, I think I'm going to keep them together as I am learning and can figure out my system, as well as, yeah, that's what I've decided. And I'm just going to stick with it and not over-explain myself. So this is the video of introductory to our sheep. I might post the other footage that I have from the car and then the pasture. It's a little chaotic, but hopefully this is a little more calm and cohesive. Yeah, cohesive. Okay, starting to this far left, which this sheep that has this little brown spot, I don't know if that's potentially a manure stain from where they were at, like, you know, like they were laying down and he got pooped on. No, she got pooped on. Or if it's just a variation in her wool, but that's Toast. And then to her right here, that is Chai. Chai is definitely a little spicy. I'm worried she is going to be stubborn. Right here is I believe our ram. I can't see their ear tags, so I can't confirm their numbers, but he's this bigger one here. That's Eggs. And that cutie to the far right is Ham. Yes, so our sheep's names are Toast, Chai, Eggs, and Ham. They're the Breakfast Club. I've actually never seen the movie. I just told people because I thought it was cute and funny, and they're like, oh, great movie, or oh, yeah, it's an old movie, and I'm like, I haven't seen it. So that's our flock. I'm so excited to potentially show you how I turned myself into a shepherdess. I've done a lot of studying, and it's so funny. I say that, but yet day one, I almost gave my sheep bloat by putting them on, you know, essentially into turning 4 kids loose into a candy shop. But there'll be a learning curve, and I'm excited. Thank you so much for watching our farm, and I will see you next time. Bye.